Today's comment for discussion relates to a video that we did on how to feed your dog in training without them nipping the ends of your fingers. So a lot of people hold the food like this and the dog ends up nipping the ends of your fingers. Our demonstration was to hold it like this so the dog can only kind of nuzzle in, and then we release the food via our thumb when we want the dog to have access to the food. The comment to this was something wrong, you're adjusting and not the dog. Train. So the insinuation is essentially that the dog should mind its manners and not be rude, and we probably should be able to feed the dog like this without the dog nipping our fingers. Now, sure, the comment is fair and reasonable for a certain type of mindset, and this person very well may train in a specific type of way where they don't want the dog pressing into their hands at all. So fair play, for their purposes, this technique may not suit, and we're never in a position where we're telling people what we're teaching and preaching is a one size fits all. We absolutely tailor to every dog and every training requirement. But the insinuation essentially of the dog shouldn't nip your fingers, you need to get the dog to adjust and you not adjusting. A lot of that mindset comes from dominance theory and an older style and methodology in terms of training. One of the reasons that we like the dog to actually be rude into the hand is because we end up using the hand for power steering. So we want strong hand pressure and the dog really fighting for the food, and we leverage off that for a lot of obedience and creating skill-based work. We get a lot of really strong, sharp behavior using this technique. I've been in the animal training business now for over 20 years. I've trained a lot of exotic species, and now I run a large dog training business. There are a lot of different methodologies and approaches. People's approaches have changed drastically over the year. One of the things that I really balk from, and one of the reasons I wanted to talk about this comment, is because I always run a mile from absolute statements. So this person's comment absolutely may be applicable for their training scenario, regardless of whether they're using an older style method or modern methods of training. It still may be applicable depending on their situation. For our situation, we actually like that rudeness in the hand. Does that mean the dog becomes rude and unmanageable? Well, we've got hundreds of video examples displaying our dogs complying to a high level in high distraction environments, so it doesn't appear to be an issue for us. So my warning really would be very, very shy of anyone coming to you with any absolute in training, and certainly anytime we're delivering coaching or some sort of tutorial online, it may serve your purpose depending on how you're training at the time and what your training goals are, but it absolutely may not. So nothing that we're teaching will ever apply to all dogs. We do a huge volume of private lessons in our business because we want to be able to tailor for people. So anytime someone picks up the phone and says, I want to go into this class or that class, if we feel they need a level of tailoring, we're immediately trying to encourage them into private so we can work the dog in front of us.